Hey everybody, I wanted to take a few minutes here to give you final exam review for the upcoming test. If you study everything that I go over real quickly here, you should be able to do really well on the test. If you have any questions about what I cover here, you can't ask me right now, but please just email me or call to ask in any specifics. You should be able to find this information as you need it. Okay, look back over the different types of speech delivery, including manuscript, and there are 4 altogether methods of speech delivery. Look back at the imagery language, those techniques including similes and metaphors and those types of things. Look back at the communication model. It was from earlier this semester. It's the diagram with the guy and the girl in the communication model. Familiarize yourself with those 8 components and that model. Look back at telling a story, the different changing the pace, voice variants, all those things. Look back at the formal outline process of what is a general and a specific purpose, what goes into a general and a specific purpose, concrete versus abstract language, egocentrism, what else here? Persuasion. What is persuasion? And the communication, or the persuasion continuum. And remember, if you move somebody down just one step on that continuum, you have been successful. That's important to remember. What is a target audience? Credibility, and what are the factors of credibility? The difference between passive agreement and immediate action. Look back at the list of fallacies covered. Fallacies, or errors in reasoning. Fallacy. Also look back on how to choose a topic. There are methods of topic selection, including things like clustering and such. Kind of like brainstorming. Every word has a connotative and a denotative meaning. Connotative and denotative, what's the difference in those two? Sentence structure that lends itself to the speech's or enhances the speech's rhythm. 3 talked about in class are alliteration, parallelism, and repetition. Look back at using evidence and using reasoning. There are 3 questions in persuasion: questions of fact, policy, and value. 3 questions of persuasion. When somebody says has a lot of vocalized pauses or fillers in a speech, they are failing to make use of, remember, their pause. Pauses can be powerful, failing to make use of a pause. The process of identification. Look back at what is a process of identification. The Monroe's motivated sequence has 5 steps. Make sure you familiarize yourself that has 5 and what those 5 steps are. There are a list in one of the lectures about ways to get your audience's attention. It's an informative speech lecture, probably the first video. Talks about ways to get your audience's attention, like telling a story, using humor, and those things. Look back at that list. Look at audience analysis, demographic and situational audience analysis. And remember, it's important that your language be appropriate, not only for the audience, but there are some other areas where your language should be appropriate, like even the speaker, the topic, and the audience included in that. There are 3 main reasons for public speaking. Think about the 3 speeches for this class. 1, entertain. 2nd of all, to inform. Or 3rd, to persuade. So entertain, inform, or persuade. Again, look back at the 8 components of communication in the communication model. Let's say, for example, if you were asked to list and describe and or draw the communication model, could you do that for a final exam? And lastly, look back at the formal outline format. That's your informative speech outline format. Familiarize yourself with that format. If you were given, hypothetically, a a thesis statement for an informative speech. There's a lot that's given in a thesis statement, enough to where you could build an informative formal outline. You'd have to make up a few things here and there, but you could still build pretty well the outline based on that thesis statement. So be prepared to do that if you're asked to do so. The test is 20 true-false, 20 multiple choice, and a couple short answer questions. Again, please let me know if you have any questions.